One of the great things about Good Morning Frederick is the opportunity to learn about some amazing organizations that have been around for a long time. I'm excited to welcome Blaine Young to Good Morning Frederick. Welcome to you.
How are you doing?
I'm great, thank you. All right, you every year, no matter where I am, I get this notification from you about this parade that happens every single year. Did you tell me it was like the longest running parade that's ever happened?
So it's the yes and yes. And what I mean by yes and yes, it's the longest running annual parade in the history of the city of Frederick. And it is also the longest running annual private parade. And what I mean by that is there's a Kris Kringle procession. They don't even call that a parade, a procession, but that is facilitated by the city of Frederick and coordinated through the organizations there within the city.
Okay, so let's back up a little bit, and you are the chairman for this parade. But who are the Mountain City Elks, and how did you get involved?
So I'll say this for those old timers. In every city, there is a cluster or group of fraternal organizations. You have the Elks, which we have one on Shookstown Road, and we have one on West All Saints Street. I'll get to that in a second. Most people are familiar with the Moose. That's by the fairgrounds. They're on East Patrick. The Eagles have relocated. They used to be across from the post office, and they're in the old Jennifer's restaurant on West Patrick. And
Yeah.
then you have your service organizations such as the AMVETS, the American Legion, the VFW on Route 40. And that's where a lot of people went. Everyone is a nonprofit and they have certain missions, certain things that they provide in the community, but it is a membership organization. So when you go pre segregation, when some African Americans tried to join the Elks, they were denied, and it wasn't here in this town or this state. But what happened is a parallel organization, completely separate. What had happened was they basically got a hold of the Elks bylaws and everything else, and they started their own organization, which basically ran parallel. There's
Mhm.
actually a court case, and the court said no, no one can own an elk. There can be two elk organizations. Today, we recognize their membership. They recognize our membership. We actually have a joint get together once a month. But the Mountain City Elks, which is located on 173 West All Saints Street, is primarily a African American organization. I think most people can see that they do accept anyone. I'm a member, and what I
Yeah.
mean is it's not exclusive
Right.
to African Americans, and the Elks on Shookstown has African American members also. So we really focus on the youth and the seniors. Um, the organization's been in the city of Frederick over 100 years. It's
That's
in
amazing.
a very, very historic building that was actually a hospital when Dr. Bourne and his colleague were not given rights to go into what was then called the City Hospital. Then it became FMH. Now it's called Frederick Health. They actually started a hospital in the African American part of town so people could still maintain their doctor when they went to the hospital. The irony of it all, if you go into the lobby of the hospital, the first doctor they actually gave rights to come in the hospital was Dr. Bourne's son, and there's a portrait of him in there. And then once there was no longer a need for the African American hospital, Dr. Bourne and Associate worked out, and they were also Elk members. There's a plaque that's there that became the home of the Mountain City Elks. Our current exalted ruler is Rick Hall. Most people remember a gentleman called Mr. Bernard Brown. If you
Hmm.
go up to the Bernard Brown Civic, he was exalted ruler for 50 years.
Wow.
Um, And this week is our organization week. We tonight's bingo for our seniors, which you're talking to me on Monday. There'll be different events every night this week, even a candidates forum on candidates mixer on Wednesday. And then we'll have what's called a white party where everyone dresses in white on Friday night. That's already sold out, 200 people. And then we'll roll right into Sunday, which is our annual parade.
That's amazing. What great history here in Frederick. And I'm so grateful to you for taking the time to let us know about this because a lot of people don't know. All right. So, the rundown for the parade on Sunday, which is open to anyone to attend. Tell me a little bit about the parade route and who is going to be marching.
So, I hope I have just a second. I'll tell you how I got involved real quick.
Okay.
So, when I did partake and drank Crown Royal, I stopped in. I've been going there for many years, and they needed some serious improvements. I started with a capital campaign of getting donations and grants. We remodeled the upstairs, we remodeled the downstairs. We just got done $160,000 facade update of the building to its original um, format, going through the historic preservation committee. So we've raised over $1 million in restoring that historical structure. The city has made a focus of investing a lot of money of updating Molnex Park. So then they asked if I would help with the parade. Who doesn't love a parade?
Who doesn't love a parade?
So I started reaching out to businesses and say, "Will you help me save this parade?" And as you can see on the flyer I sent, the poster, over 23 businesses and individuals stepped up. What we do is, so like TJ High School marching band will participate. Concocted marching band will participate. The Frederick High School marching band will participate. There's two independent bands that come out of Baltimore. Both have over 50 members. Another band called Dynasty. Just in the marching band portion, there's over 150 people that participate. Every one of those groups will receive a donation or stipend that actually flows through the sponsors, because we want to help them continue. Uh,
Nice.
Unfortunately, Danny, as you know, in Frederick, there used to be parades all the time, and
Mm,
everyone had either a majorette group, a dance group, a band. But it's tough
yeah.
with uniforms and instruments. So part of this parade was not only putting on a parade; it was to create a fundraiser for these marching bands. And then we have 6 dance groups, but all in all, and there'll be over 400 participants just in the marching bands and dance groups. And of course, we'll have your traditional fire trucks from Independent Hose, Junior Fire Company, United. We'll have a color guard. We'll have it's election year in the city of Frederick, so we'll not only have elected officials, we'll have candidates, and it's just a good fun time. And it goes through the heart of the city and actually ends right there in front of the lodge on 173 West All Saints Street.
That's amazing. Now, for somebody who wants to come watch, where do you recommend that they set up to see everything that's passing by?
So let everyone know the staging area is right there by the Delaplane Visual Arts Center. There's an open lot. We'll come to Carroll Street, will be the lineup. So we'll actually take a left on West Patrick. So anywhere from that area, West Patrick up, is a great spot. Then we'll take a left on Market going the wrong way. Anywhere on that Market Street area, that's where a lot of people congregate.
Yeah.
There by Hooch and Banner, Old La Paz, that area. And then we take a right on West All Saints Street to the reviewing stand, which is right in front of the Mountain City Elks Lodge.
Yeah.
So,
Fantastic. And I
yeah,
mean, yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
across from the lodge is an open parking lot. And Danny, that's where the first African American school was in the city of Frederick. So the Mountain City Elks Lodge owns that lot, and we're working on building a replica of that school that will serve as a concession stand to many nonprofits. So we got a lot of exciting. I love history, and anything
I
we
know
can
you
do,
do.
we can
Yeah.
save it it's great for future generations to understand.
Well, it is important because, we have so many people who are new to our area, and we love keeping this history alive, and we want to make sure this parade lasts for many, many more years to come. So, how can Frederick support what you're doing with this parade? Is there anything that we can do other than just letting people know about it? But how can we support you?
Well, sure. Every year, first of all, when I first started this kind of venture of, really keeping this parade vibrant, I can't say enough thank yous to the Delaplane Foundation. When I went to George Delaplane and Marlene Young, George Delaplane, who has ridden as one of our grand marshals, knew all about this parade because he knows, him and Marlene know so much about the history, and they give us a nice grant every year. Past that, we have to raise the rest of the money. Unfortunately, when you ask a marching band that comes from DC or even if they're local,
Yeah.
you gotta help them. You got to give
Yeah.
them something to cover. We feed them transportation, but we want to do more than that. We want to help their program, whether so it's a band uniform or instrument. So, this year we're getting ready to wrap up, but going forward, it's not only helping put on a great parade, but it's helping a lot of these marching bands and dance groups continue activities for the youth.
Yeah. Well, I think the more Frederick that shows up for this, it shows a lot of these. First of all, it supports a lot of the sponsors and businesses who are financially supporting this event. Plus, no one likes to march on an empty street. So
Yeah.
pack the streets this Sunday. So everything kicks off, is it at 3 o'clock?
The parade starts at 3 and pretty much will be done by 4:30. I tell you, if you get a chance, if you go on West All Saint Street, between 3 to 5, there'll be somewhere between 3 to 5,000 people on that street.
Yeah.
Folks are busing. They come from everywhere. Other Elks organizations come from Annapolis,
Yeah.
Baltimore, DC, Chrisfield,
Yeah.
Salisbury. It's pretty amazing to see.
That is amazing. Well, let's show Frederick how welcoming we are to everyone, and go on down and see this amazing piece of history right here in Frederick. It is the Mountain City Elks Lodge Parade, organizational parade, this Sunday, 3 o'clock, anywhere from really South Carroll Market and West All Saint Street. You're going to be able to see it. Thank you so much, Blaine. We got to have you on to do a history talk soon.
Well, I mean, Chris Hall's the kind of the
Yes, he is.
Chris Hall and John Ashbury. I yield to
Yeah.
them, but
You don't
I
do
learned
so
from them.
bad.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Really appreciate it.